Hey, this week I want to talk about your body being intelligent. Hey, I'm Eloise Ansell. I'm an intuitive healer based in the UK, and welcome. Hi. This week I want to talk about how intelligent your bodies are because this week bodies have been blowing me away again in clinic. So, as an intuitive healer, I tune into people's bodies and ask them what they want, and they know a lot more than we do. This is the one thing I've learned over the years, and if you've been around a while, you've probably heard me talk about this before, but they just inspire me. Bodies are amazing. They really know what you need, what you don't need, what's coming up in the next 6 months. They know everything. And yet we quite often beat our bodies up and we berate them for not being perfect and oh, I'm carrying more weight. Oh, I'm not as flexible as I used to be. Oh, I feel really old. Like we're always like nagging our bodies or moaning about them. And let's just take a moment to say thank you to how miraculous they are and how amazing they are for keeping us alive, keeping us going, and being the intelligent wisdom things they are. Beneath the bonnet, we do not see what they are getting up to, what they are healing, what they are dealing with, and we do not know that. We tend to only notice when our bodies go wrong, when they fail us. And normally by that point, they've probably been screaming at us for a few years or a few months to kind of highlight to us what's going on. And bodies will attract situations to you, they will attract conversations to you, they will try and get the information to you any way that they can. And sometimes that could be through more kind of woo-woo esoteric methods, and sometimes it's just going to be pain. You know? So bodies are great, and they just, as I keep going, they blow me away. Every session, I learn something new. Every session I do on a body, it takes me on a journey of things that I've never even contemplated, thought about. Hardly no one's tried to design I can't sit down and create what bodies come up with in sessions. It is just amazing. It is really great. So when we learn to talk to our bodies, when we learn to communicate with them and work more in harmony with them and say, what would you like to eat for dinner, body? What would you like to wear today? Is there a particular color that would help you today? Is that, and having this dialogue and having this conversation, it really can become a really beautiful unit of us working together and celebrating our bodies and being in awe of them instead of beating them up and fighting them and all the horrible things that we say to them. So it's getting to this space. So first of all, if you are someone who's self-talk and you're always beating your body up and moaning about how old it is and like it's not as youthful as it used to be and no, I'm carrying extra weight and da 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 da. Just take a moment every day to say thank you to your body. It's like, hi body. Thanks for being here. Really grateful for all you do. I start off every session with gratitude for the body. I think that is the building block of everything. It's taking that moment to say gratitude. And my clients probably don't realize why we do it. So if you're watching, here's a little insight. But like we have to be in gratitude for the intuition to flow. If you've heard me talk about intuition a lot, that is one of the ways that we can unlock it. And being in a space where we take this moment to say thank you to our body before we do anything else, we're acknowledging it. And I don't know about you, but if you're acknowledged, you probably want to help out the person that's acknowledged you a little bit more. If someone's beating me up and calling me names, I don't particularly want to hang out with that person. If we look at that relationship that we have with our body, would they want to come to a party with us or stay at home? That is the question. So we really want to build a relationship where we can come together. And the simplest way is in the mornings just to take a moment and say thank you. And maybe at the end of the day as well. And from there, we can start to work together and not beat our bodies up. It's just like, you can observe what's going on. It's like some days I'm more flexible than others when I'm dancing, and I'm like, oh, okay, tonight we just don't have that edge. And it's like, that's fine. It's like, I'm like, oh, okay, well, body, hey, if you can't do that level of flexibility today, it's fine. I'm not going to ask it of you, or pull it back a little bit. I'm working within my body's capacity. I'm not trying to push it to a level. I might play with it a bit and see where the boundaries are. And if there are boundaries in place that day, I don't think, okay, that is my boundary for life now. I'm like, that's just what's happening today. Too often we get into a space, and the mind likes to lock us into this, where we think that whatever's going on with our body now is now how it's going to be for the rest of the time, and it's just going to get worse. That doesn't have to be the case. But if you choose that's the case, guess what? That will become your reality. So if you believe that you can catch everything you come into contact with, you'll catch everything you come into contact with. You'll be constantly sick. But trust me, even then you're not catching everything you come into contact with, because we're surrounded by germs and things all the time. Now, I know my body chooses when to catch something. This may be a whole other conversation. I've probably done a video on this at some time. But my body chooses when to be sick. And normally to heal something. If you've been around for a while, you know that I've had some weird things happen to me. And retrospectively, my body has explained to me why we had to go through that thing. And it is fascinating. One of my favourites was it was my birthday, and I was having some fun in Cornwall with some of my good friends. And I got bitten on the bottom of my foot by a weaver fish. Well, that's what we worked out what happened. It was painful. Heart goes out to you if you've been through that as well. It's not very pleasant. Basically attacks your nervous system for about 45 minutes. It's like, and then goes on to be in pain all day. Luckily, it happened, I think it was probably before lunch. So, like, by the time I went to bed, I could actually sleep. Probably didn't have the best night's sleep, but at least it was kind of calmed down. And that's with a lot of tools to like balance myself out. So, if you don't have that, it's a painful thing. Now, at the time, I was like, well, that's a great birthday present. But I actually came up in a session a few weeks later that I needed the poison to resolve another issue that I had. So my body actually attracted the situation to take the poison from the fish, because it actually helped heal something else that had been going on for quite a while, and my body was looking for a solution for it, and it found one. So I went through a lot of pain, but overall it actually helped me heal, which is quite fun. And this is part of this conversation about the intelligence and wisdom of your body. It is wrapped up in your thinking. So, if you're wanting to be in pain, you will probably find a reason to be in pain. But the intelligence of the body, it's going to find ways to resolve things that don't always make logical sense. And might, on paper, be a bad thing. It's like being eaten by the weaver fish. Eaten, only bit me. Uh, Slight difference, but you know what I mean. Uh, on paper, that seems a really horrible situation. It wasn't pleasant. I wouldn't choose to go through it again. But it actually was for a wider purpose. It was for a healing reason. And your body has the ability to attract these things. It has the ability to bring things into your world, your reality, in order to heal you long term. So you may go through times of hardship, and hopefully they won't be too big, but that is for a bigger purpose, because your body can see that bigger purpose and you can't. Even putting on some weight might, not always, but might be part of your balance. I know the first time I put a lot of weight on, my body was actually telling me for 6 months beforehand that it needed to do it. Now, I never quite got the reasoning for it. The weight did come off after a couple of years, but it was very clear that this needed to happen. Now, I still to this day don't know why, but I don't judge it. I just go with its wisdom. I know it knows what it's doing, and it's a teamwork effort here. If I sit around eating crap all the time, I'm probably going to put some weight on. But why am I eating crap? Maybe I don't have that relationship with my body. Maybe I'm depressed about something. Maybe I need some healing on my belief systems and my um like there's an emotional problem there that I'm trying to resolve, and some great methods for getting around that. You can look at sessions of EFT and things like that can be very helpful to get into things like that. We need to clear these underlying situations, and your body may be putting the weight on in order to get you to look at these things. It's trying to get your awareness, it's trying to communicate with you in some way, shape, or form, and it won't always make sense. So ask questions. Start off by being in gratitude with your body. Know it's intelligent, know it's trying to communicate and heal you, and ask it questions as to why. Now, if I ask my body a question, I might not hear like a word for word response back immediately, but I might be sat on a bus a couple of days later and I overhear a conversation and I go, thank you. Because your body is, as I said, attracting stuff into your universe. It might not be able to tell you in that moment, word for word, what it wants to say, but it might take a couple of days and it finds an opportunity to bring that into my awareness. It might be picking up a magazine, it might be turning the TV on at a particular moment. It might be, YouTube suggests a video to me and my intuition is like, I need to watch that. It's instead of just going, that's interesting, next. So we need to pay attention. So coming from this place of intuition, and I've got loads of videos and courses on expanding your intuition. You can't really upgrade it, but you can expand it and improve it in that way. But it's a whole conversation for another day. But coming from a place of intuition, coming from a place of being friends with our bodies and working with them as a team, the intuition can help enable that. So that might be a first step as well. After you just get into the habit of saying thank you. Now, if you've got any questions about this topic, pop it below. I would love to explore maybe this topic a little bit more if anyone's got anything particular that they want to ask. Because we could talk about this for months, but basically it just boils down to the basics that we've covered. So start saying thank you to your body. It knows what you're doing. It knows what you need. It is looking after you, your buddy for life through this lifetime. It knows a lot more than you do. So start listening. Okay, have a great week. Bye.